Happy Thursday, Rutgers. I'm Cassandra Sheese.
And I'm Jake Ostrov. We've got a fantastic show lined up for you. It is April 4th, 2019.
Weather watcher Kyle Ryman will give you the regional and big picture forecast for the day.
We'll paint the town scarlet at this year's Latin American Festival with our very own Daniela Cardona.
Tom Sokolowski will come talk about the new exhibits at the Zimmerelli Art Museum.
We've got tons to get to. Let's wake up, Rutgers.
Hello and welcome, Rutgers. It's great to be here on this sunny Thursday morning.
And as always, we're here to wake you up every Thursday morning this semester with all the exciting news, events, and weather. And wow, we have got a great show for you. First things first, though, a big welcome back and a bigger happy birthday to my co-host, Cass. It's great to have you back next to me.
Honestly, we've gone apart for so long that it's kind of weird being back together. I mean, right before spring break, I was alone. Then we had the week off. Then we came back and you were alone, and now we're back together. So it's been like 3 weeks or so, but it's nice sitting back next to you. I think we've both experienced being alone on this show, and it's definitely a lot easier and a lot nicer to be sitting next to someone and doing it with someone else.
Well, Rutgers' favorite duo is right back on the air where we belong. It's great to have you back.
Yeah, no, it's nice to be back, but I haven't seen you in so long. So has anything new or exciting happened in your life since I've seen you last?
Well, I talked a little bit about spring break when I was alone last week on the show, but I'll say, over this past week, I've been to the Yankees. I went up on Monday, went straight to the Bronx from work, and it was a great experience. I love baseball. I talk about it all the time. And the Yankees are my favorite team. Great to see them back at the back in action, be back at the stadium, and I'm looking forward to the next couple months. But I haven't even seen you since before spring break. So what have you been up to?
So over spring break, something really exciting I did was go to Sojo Spa. I know it's kind of been this trend lately that a lot of people have been going to. It's the spa that's in Edgewater, so it looks over the New York City skyline, and it is so worth its price. I would tell anyone to go if they really need to relax and have a getaway. There's so much to do. There's 8 floors of this spa. You wouldn't even realize. It's huge, but it was the most relaxing time. I went with my 2 best friends, got to lay out, go in pools, go in saunas, things like that. It was so worth the relaxation time.
It seems like it was a great time, and we always say over spring break, you have to stay relaxed.
Yeah.
And someone who I haven't seen since before spring break was our weather guy, Kyle. So, Kyle, how was your spring break?
Honestly, not as eventful as the both of yours, but honestly, I just spent time with my family, relaxed before the second set of exams roll in the next couple of weeks. Back to you, Jake and Cass.
No, I honestly agree. I think spring break is the time period that you do need to take time off for yourself. I mean, we really aren't supposed to have work over break, but kind of hits you hard when you come back to school because that's when you're catching up now on your work. It kind of throws you off taking that little break because you're like, reality is school's still going on. So I know Rutgers has so much planned for April because Rutgers celebrates Gapril. So there's so many events that we're going to be talking about through this whole month. I'm sure every Thursday we'll be advertising a new event for the month of Gapril.
And I can confirm that because this week we do have one of those Gapril events coming up next week. But we'll get to that in a little bit in our news and events section. But before we get to the rest of the show, let's see how much you know.
When was the Zimmerelli Art Museum founded? We'll find out the answer right after this.
Being a Rutgers student isn't always as sweet as it seems. If you're not prepared, you might find yourself needing some help.
I need help. I can't find my term bill.
Luckily, help is here. Getting to and paying your term bill is as easy as tying your shoelaces.
To get to your term bill, just go to studentabc.rutgers.edu and press the button that says Pay Your Bill. From there, you can log in with your NetID or RUID. The site will direct you to your account summary where you can find your term bill for any semester.
Okay, but how do I pay my term bill?
Great question.
For payment options, just refer to the right-hand side column on your account summary page. It's that easy.
Wow, that was really helpful.
All in a day's work.
Welcome back, Rutgers. Before the break, we asked, when was the Zimmerelli Art Museum founded? Now it's time to find out the answer.
The Zimmerli Art Museum is one of the largest and most distinguished university-based museums in the country. Founded in 1966 as the Rutgers University Art Gallery, the museum was renamed the Jane Voorhees Zimmerli Art Museum in 1983 in response to the growth of the permanent collection. The major benefactors of the construction of the museum were Ralph and Alan Voorhees, and the Zimmerli name was named after their mother. Cass, have you ever been to the Zimmerli Art Museum?
I actually was there for the first time just a couple weeks ago. I went to do a shoot for RUTV, and it was beautiful. I did not know the museum was that big. I mean, I've driven past it a bunch of times, but I've never been inside. And going in, I did not realize how large it was. There's so many exhibits, and I was just so taken back by how large it is. But Jake, have you ever been?
Well, growing up in the area, you kind of have to. It's one of the big destinations in Middlesex County. I know my sister even went to art camp when she was back in elementary school. It's a big deal, and as you said, it's a beautiful museum with so much to do inside, so much art and so much history right inside, right here on campus. And we're going to have an interview talking about that a little bit later. But the weather's starting to get a little nicer, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Voorhees Mall, that area, that
It's
courtyard.
a great place to walk around.
It's the best area in my mind, especially if you can catch a spot under a tree and just watch as everyone leaves class. The weather's nice and everything just feels right. It's a great area. It's actually a great date spot and someone that I would always want to go to an art museum with on a date. It's Kyle Ryman. He's here with the weather.
Thank you, Jake and Cass. Good morning, Rutgers weather watcher Kyle Ryman here, waking you up with your latest morning forecast. We're here every Thursday morning, providing you the latest weather. We have some weather to talk about as usual, so let's hop right into it. For your almanac for today, we had a morning low of 34 degrees, right around our average low of 37 degrees. A little chilly this morning, but definitely very beautiful today. We have an average high of 57 degrees. We do expect things to warm up to that mark later on in the day. Nowhere near as warm as 80 degrees set back in 1950, and nowhere near as chilly as 20 degrees set back in 1898. And as usual, we have our sunrise and sunset times down at the bottom of the screen. Now, as you're walking outside right now, 46 degrees, partly cloudy conditions, just a very beautiful day today. Dew point of 25 degrees and humidity of 44%, so it's not too muggy outside walking right now. Winds light and variable right now, but we do expect winds to pick up later on in the day. For your weather headlines for today and going into the weekend, we're going to give you a wildfire update. The major wildfire that spruced up this weekend in Burlington and Ocean County is currently 100% contained, and most of the brush fires from yesterday have been contained as well. Unfortunately, almost 12,000 acres have been burned from the combined fire, so keep that in mind as you have any open flames in any wooded areas. Other than that, we're going to have a very beautiful day today, and go outside and enjoy that today because we're going to have a gloomy weekend ahead, and I'll talk about that more with your 5-day forecast. Right now, take a look at the radar across the nation. We have a severe weather system that is currently affecting the southeast and some parts of the Midwest, and that could spawn some tornadoes later on in the day, and we'll keep an eye on that as the day progresses. Now, looking at the futurecast, you can see that that system is going to begin moving its way into the northeast, and that is going to provide the rain we're going to be seeing this weekend. Now, for today's local forecast, a high of 59 degrees, so it is going to be right around our averages for the day. Partly cloudy skies, winds blowing west-northwest at 10 to 15 miles an hour, so it is going to be a little gusty. Secure any loose articles if you have them. For tonight's local forecast, 52 degrees, so it is going to almost be consistent for the evening. Considerably cloudy tonight with showers later on in the evening. The winds are going to calm down and blow from the northeast at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Go outside and enjoy that weather today, Rutgers. I'm weather watcher Kyle Ryman. Back to you, Jay.
Well, Kylie, you had me so excited with this beautiful weather until you said that we're going to see gloomy weekends ahead, which I know you're going to get to later. I am loving this weather right now. I mean, when I walked outside of my house this morning, just the sun, it wasn't that chilly. Like, I had a lighter coat on. My parents came and stopped by this weekend. I gave them all my winter stuff. I gave my sweaters to make room in my closet. I gave them my winter jacket. So I hope we don't have any of these more like cold spurts out of nowhere because I really am enjoying these nice, beautiful days.
Well, it seems like we're finally turning to spring after a beautiful weekend, and then it's been a great week. hopefully it continues and the rain will stay away. But it is spring, so you never know what it's going to
I
be.
know. Because spring does bring showers, we know that.
Well, make flowers, you know?
Yeah.
News and events after this.
As a commuter, it's hard to make connections outside of class.
Tell me about it.
Did you know that there's a place for commuters to meet up between classes?
No, I didn't.
That's right. The Rutgers Commuter Student Organization's primary goal is to serve commuter needs and interests while building a bigger commuter community on campus. Located in the Bush Student Center, the RCSA Commuter Lounge has many appliances that help make commuter lives easier, such as a microwave, a refrigerator, computers, and even a TV. The RCSA also holds events. It's the perfect place to relax, do homework, and make some friends. Don't have classes on Bush? Don't worry. There is a new commuter lounge in the Douglas Student Center as well. The commuter lounges are open every Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. and from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Fridays. For more information, visit rcsa.rutgers.edu.
Welcome back, Rutgers. There's always things happening on our campus. I mean, we've always had fun events, and now that we're coming back from spring break, we kind of have a lot of catching up to do, but there's always some exciting news and events, so we'll jump right in. A group of students from Rutgers University dedicated their spring break to make a difference in New Orleans with continuing effects of the devastation caused by Hurricane Katrina. This week-long trip was student planned and sponsored by Rutgers University Alternative Breaks. The students learned about the human and ecological impact of this storm made on Louisiana and the threats of their wetlands, which are being lost at an alarming rate. Students also helped plant grass and trees to improve and restore land as well. Overall, this group was able to give back to the community and gain a new knowledge through the act of service. Well, Jake, personally, I have not attended an alternative break, but I've heard the most amazing things about it. In high school, I used to go on mission trips with my church, and it's kind of similar to the same thing about going into a community that's been affected in some way and helping them, learning, and really growing as a group, but really making a change in this community and really giving back.
Well, it's great that Rutgers sends out these groups every spring break, and it's pretty crazy that we're approaching the 15-year anniversary of Hurricane Katrina, and so many people are still affected, but it's great that Rutgers is sending out students who are willing and able to go help the less fortunate, and of course, as we know, Rutgers has a history of humanitarian work in its legacy. One of New Brunswick's busiest streets is getting a new name. In honor of the centennial of esteemed Rutgers alumnus Paul Robeson's graduation, New Brunswick is renaming Centennial Ave Paul Robeson Boulevard. The change was made as Rutgers University honors Robeson's legacy with a year-long celebration. The signage will be unveiled in the coming weeks. Paul Robeson and his legacy are becoming an integral part of the city and the Rutgers New Brunswick campus. The university has plans to unveil the new Paul Robeson Plaza at the Voorhees Mall on the College Ave campus on April 12th. Learn more about the celebration by visiting robeson100.rutgers.edu or by following hashtag Robeson100 on social media. And Cass, we talk about the Paul Robeson Cultural Center all the time, right here on Bush down the road. They have so many events, and Paul Robeson, it's been 100 years since his graduation, and he still has such an impact on our community.
Oh, I totally agree with that. I think it's good that we are naming a street after him. I think he's a man who is so deserving about it. That's why we talk about him so much, because he's done so much for our community, and he's an activist, and that's the way to appreciate someone who's done a huge thing for Rutgers. So I love the plaza at Voorhees, and I can't wait till they unveil it. I think that's going to be a beautiful moment, and I think many students should attend it as well. Not only should students attend that, but they should attend our exciting events we have as well. Celebrate April and enjoy a free performance at the Latinx Women in Hip Hop concert on Wednesday, April 10th from 8 to 10 p.m. in the Livingston Student Center Multipurpose Room. This concert is featuring Rebecca Lane, a Guatemalan artist who raps about women's rights, LGBTQ struggles, and the marginalization of Guatemala's Mayan majority. This concert is also presented in conjunction with the Turn the Campus Teal for Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Join the several departments collaborating for this event and listen to some new beats for free. Well, Jake, I think it's amazing all these groups coming together to have this event. I think it's touching on all different aspects that are so prominent and so strong in our Rutgers community. So it's bringing out all different types of people, and you're meeting new people, you're coming together. So I love that all those groups are collaborating.
It's just one of the great events that Rutgers has had this semester and will continue to have this semester with a focus on the arts. Join Rupa tonight in the Red Lion Cafe in the College Ave Student Center from 7 to 9 p.m. for their Paint and Sip Party Bob Ross edition. Grab a mocktail and a seat and paint along with the Bob Ross video. Rupa will be providing Bob Ross wigs, and everyone is encouraged to wear a plaid or denim shirt to channel their inner Bob Ross. Go to getinvolved.rutgers.edu to grab a ticket ahead of time. And Cass, I gotta say that I am really bummed that I have class tonight because I think that this is the event of the century.
Well, I love the fact that they're giving us wigs to make us look like Bob Ross. I mean, that's really funny. But
Iconic.
But exactly. I mean, everyone's seen his videos on Netflix, whether you were painting along with them or just to watch and relax yourself. I mean, they're very calming, and he's so talented. So I already know, though, my painting will look nothing like Bob Ross's. I am far from artistic. I don't know about you, if you have any painting
He puts
in
a
your
couple
genes.
lines up there, and he's like, and here's our mountains. And they look like mountains. And
And then
I
you're doing that.
have a couple lines.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree, Jake. Mine looks nothing like what his looks like when I try to follow along. My friends have done it before, but that sounds like such a fun event. Another event, though, that looked like so much fun was our Latin America Festival that was focused on Venezuela that our very own Daniela Cardona attended.
Every year, one country is celebrated at the Latin American Festival with food and music. This year, it's Venezuela. I'm Daniela Cardona, and we're currently at the Livingston Student Center learning about ways to help Venezuela. All ticket proceeds go to Cuatro por Venezuela, an organization that helps to provide food and more to those in need. Let's go make a difference and have some fun while we're at it. Why was Venezuela chosen?
Oh, because Venezuela at this moment is going through a very big crisis, and we feel like it's not being reported enough, it's not in the media enough, and we just think that it's best to, as a school and as a community, to just bring out more awareness. We're going to have a lot of performances. We're going to have Bachata Club. We're going to have Cuatro por Venezuela talk about what's going on, and we're also going to have just more food and dancing. It's a fun night.
Cuatro por Venezuela was chosen because they're an organization that is really focused on the humanitarian part of this issue. So through programs such as like food programs, education, and like formula programs for children. So because of those goals that they have in mind really align with like our goals as LASO, that's like the main reason why they became like an organization of interest for us.
We have sent over 60,000 pounds of supplies back home in the past 2 years, I would say. We've had an impact on over 40,000 people in Venezuela. In fact, we partner with over 180 different institutions, hospitals back home that receive the help that we send.
One of the cool things I learned, so I didn't actually know how long this crisis has been going on, right? We hear about Venezuela recently in the news, but this is something that's been going on since 2016 and much before that. So I didn't know that it's gotten to a point where 80% of their population can't necessarily pay for 3 meals a day. Right, and that's basic human necessity.
Students can definitely expect to have more awareness of Latinx culture and our Latin American countries, but also to have a good time. You know, this is an event where we just want to fundraise in a fun way and bring awareness, but at the end of the day, like, we're all here to have some fun.
I hope to take away from this event just being supportive to Venezuelans and being aware of what's going on in this society, how everything is just going down.
Do you have a message for Venezuelans?
Les mando un muy fuerte abrazo y mucha fuerza para poder superar lo que estamos viviendo en Venezuela.
Who knew attending events like these could help countries in need? Make sure to come out next year, but until then, keep painting the town scarlet. I'm Daniela Cardona, RUTV.
That event looked like so much fun. I mean, it's an event that teaches you about what's going on in Venezuela and the crisis that's been happening for longer than we've realized, but also an event to watch the Bachata Club, to go have fun at. And like you see, Daniela had so much fun just hosting, so it's always a great event to attend, things like that, just like the other two we just talked about. Everyone should go see. We've talked about the Zimmerelli Art Museum today, and now we have an exciting interview coming up right after this.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I can run today. I'm really busy and... Wait, what? You're running there? I did not know this. I didn't even know that was a place.
Do you know all the places on campus where you can work out and exercise? Well, we do, and we want to share that with you. Werblin Recreation Center is located on Bush Campus on the corner of Frelinghuysen and Bartholomew Road. Werblin has everything from badminton courts to an Olympic-sized swimming pool. The Livingston Recreation Center is located on Road 3 off of Joyce Kilmer Avenue. This center has a full weight room, hosts many different classes, and even has a spa located right inside to help you relax after a tough workout or maybe just a tough exam. The Cook Douglas Recreation Center is located on Beale Road across from the Cook Student Center. This recreation building comes equipped with a fun fitness center, pool, and racquetball courts for those of you who like sports with a little danger. The College Avenue Gym is located directly on College Avenue, right next to the Student Center. This location has multiple gyms and basketball courts, power and conditioning rooms, and is the only location with a rock wall. The Rutgers Fitness Center is located on Easton Avenue on the College Avenue campus. This is the only location that is just a fitness center, so this might be the place for people looking to just work with weights and machines. Rutgers also has multiple bike and walking paths that run throughout all the campuses. You can find a map of all the paths at rudocs.rutgers.edu/bikewalk. Most facilities are open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. until 11:30 p.m. Weekend hours vary, but you can find out more information about the facilities and their hours at recreation.rutgers.edu.
Welcome back, Rutgers. Here with me is Thomas Sokolowski, the director at the Zimmerli Art Museum right here at Rutgers. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks so much.
So I think first and foremost, for the students out there, what is the Zimmerli Art Museum and where's it located?
Well, the Zimmerli Art Museum is Rutgers Museum, but we also see ourselves as the museum for the city of New Brunswick, for Middlesex County, and really for all of New Jersey and metropolitan New York City. We were founded in 1965, and the museum has grown exponentially over the last number of years. We're located at the corner of Hamilton Street and George Street, so just down the way from Old Queens campus. And we have a variety of collections. We're particularly strong in French art on paper in the 19th century. So artists like Degas and Toulouse-Lautrec, for those who are art lovers or art history students. We also have really fine American art. And then 12 years ago, we received an extraordinary and very unique collection, which is called Soviet Nonconformist Art, that was made between 1950 and 1992 when the Soviet Empire fell apart. And this came from a man named Norton Dodge, who was an economist who traveled to Russia and was once invited to a drinking party in a basement somewhere in Moscow, and met all these dissident poets and writers and artists, and was so sort of intoxicated by it that he said, I have to save this stuff, because this would have been material that would have been, it was all clandestinely presented because it was against the Soviet government in every form or fashion. And he sort of smuggled out, and with the help of friends, approximately 27,000 works of art, which we have at the Zimmerli. It's the largest collection of this material in the world, or the best one.
That sounds incredible. You have so much can't miss material and art exhibits. So to talk a little bit about some of the events that you have going on.
Well, this spring we have a number of exhibitions, but one of the things you mentioned in one of your earlier bits today about the Paul Robeson Festival, and in conjunction with that, we commissioned 6 portraits actually of Paul Robeson, because the unique thing about him was that he was a great sportsman on 3 teams at Rutgers. He was an important actor. He was a very important opera singer. He was a political activist, and he also had a law degree. I mean, he was sort of like the Superman that no one would be like that today. It's like Jesse Owens combined with Madonna, combined with, Clark Gable or something in one person, and especially at the time, an African American. And even at Rutgers, he wasn't necessarily treated so well. But this year, the university has taken the whole calendar year of 2019 to celebrate him. So you can see this exhibition in our lobby. It'll be up through the 15th of April. And then our big show is an exhibition of the watercolors of an artist named John Marin, who is known as one of the pioneers of modernist art in the United States. And he lived in New Jersey for a long period of time. So he did sketches, oil colors, paintings of central Jersey and northern Jersey. And then at the end of his life, he went to Maine and did these beautiful landscapes of the coast there. So those of your friends and students who are sort of stressed out during this last weeks of the semester can come and see something really rather beautiful and just very soul-inspiring.
So last thing before I let you go here,
Sure.
I was wondering if for students, where can they find out some more information, and more importantly for a lot of the students, the top thing that's on their mind is the fee involved.
Well, the museum is free.
Oh,
Free
that's
to
perfect.
everyone, not just students, free to everyone. We do have memberships, but there are some benefits with that, but it's free. But also, one thing we've done now for about 4 years is we have a program every semester. During the semester will be on Wednesday, the 8th of May, and it's called Study All Night. And so once the museum opens at 10 in the morning, it'll be open for 24 hours. We'll have tables with cables for people to do their laptops, etc. There's food every hour from all the great restaurants in and around the campus. And then we have, to de-stress people, we have shoulder massages. We should get Joe Biden, shouldn't we? Then we will have meditations with a Buddhist monk. And then we'll have yoga. So it's everything, just you can take 5 minutes and then go back to your geometry or what have you. Go to zimmerly.rutgers.edu. We'll have all of this material on site. You can see aspects of our collection, concerts and that are constantly coming up. So come on down, as they used to say in my day.
Wow. You guys have everything going on. It's a great time of year to do it.
Exactly.
Well, Mr. Sokolowski, thank you so much for coming by and telling us all about the Zimmerly Art Museum, and it seems like you have a lot going on. So I'll definitely have to check that out.
Very good. We'll look forward to seeing you.
Be back after this.
The Rutgers libraries have some of the biggest resources this university has to offer. There are 9 libraries located throughout all campuses with convenient hours to fit any student schedule.
The Alexander Library on College Ave campus is open 24 hours, but before 8 a.m. and after 10 p.m., a valid Rutgers ID is required. The Art Library, located on College Ave behind Scott Hall, is open from 8:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. The Carr Library on Livingston campus is open 24 hours, but before 8 a.m. and after 10 p.m., a valid Rutgers ID is required. The Chang Library on the Douglas campus is open from 8:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. The Mabel Smith Douglas Library on the Douglas campus is open 24 hours, but before 8 a.m. and after 10 p.m., a valid Rutgers ID is required. The Library of Science and Medicine on Bush campus is open 24 hours, but before 8 a.m. and after 10 p.m., a valid Rutgers ID is required. The Math and Physics Library inside of the Hill Center on Bush campus is open from 8:30 a.m. to 10 p.m.
There's plenty of space for everyone at the library, so come inside.
Good morning, Rutgers. Back again with your regional forecast for the next couple of days. Right now, for today, you expect temperatures fluctuating between the 60s and 50s for the region, partly to mostly cloudy conditions overall for today. And for tonight's regional forecast, you expect the same picture, temperatures dropping down to almost sub-freezing conditions. You expect to see some rain beginning to move into the region later on tonight. Now, bringing it back to New Brunswick for the 5-day forecast, you can expect beautiful weather for today. Beautiful weather for today, 59 degrees, and enjoy that because this weekend is going to be rainy and cloudy just all around. Temperatures fluctuating between the 40s and 60s. So go out and enjoy that weather for today, Rutgers. That is all for your forecast. I'm Weather Watcher Kyle Ryderman. Back to you, Jake and Cass.
Looking forward to that warm weather. Well, Rutgers, that will do it for today's episode.
For more events happening this week, you can go to getinvolved.rutgers.edu or ruevents.rutgers.edu.
Follow us on social media by searching RU Network and follow us on Twitter by searching @WakeUpRutgers. We love to hear from you.
Thanks again for tuning in, and thanks to Thomas for joining us. I'm Jake Ostro.
And I'm Cassandra Sheese. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you next week.